Hi, I'm here today to introduce you to my book, Picture Perfect Poetry. It's an anthology of ekphrastic nature poetry for students. Ekphrastic poetry is poetry that's inspired by some other form of art. In this case, it's photographs. Each contributing author had to take a photograph which then inspired a poem for them to write and submit to the book. The book features 25 different poems and photographs by authors that are featured from 4 continents and 3 different countries. The book is meant for students in grades 5 through 9. So in the back of the book, there's resources for not only teachers but students, and also a list of the poems and their types that are listed on each page. The resources gives both teachers, parents, and students resources to refer to if they want to delve into each form of poetry separately. Several of the authors gave me permission to read their poems as examples of what's included in the book. This poem and photograph by Karen Eastland is called Autumn's Hold. Pumpkin squat and bright and round, gathered now in autumn's hold, your droll expression so renowned. Pumpkin squat and bright and round, what message in this fall playground? Leave a seed, shine your light, be bold. Pumpkin squat and bright and round, gathered now in autumn's hold. Well, Karen was a poet new to me, being introduced by her submission for the book. Joan is a poet that I've known for several years through our Poetry Friday group. She submitted poems that are reminiscent of where she lives in the Pacific Northwest. And this poem is called When a Seedling Does Yoga. Roots threading, inhale. Taproots burrowing, exhale. Stems pushing, grounded in mountain pose. Sun-kissed branches stretching in warrior pose. One day on my stomach in sphinx pose, I will read under your shade. Inhale, exhale, namaste. And Joan submitted another poem that's called A Golden Shovel, taken from the words of a quote by Emily Bronte. I sit by the river every fall, watching each leaf change crimson, amber, and rust. The wind speaks, inviting the leaves to sail, scatter, let go of now, reminding me of children swirling, twirling, and fluttering in the forest away from the world and its chaos. The leaves know autumn, dancing, spiraling from the tree. And of course, I had a few poems in the book as the compiler of the poems, one of the editors, and the publisher. One of the things I wrote was a nonette. It's called A Ghostly Nonette. White, ghost pipe, colorless, forest dweller, chlorophyll-less plant. A fun find in damp woods, confused often with mushrooms. Monotropa uniflora. Droopy flower heads not quite ready. The other poem I wrote was alliteration. I was surprised when no one turned in an alliteration for the book, because this is one of the most common forms of poetry that teachers write with students. I can remember my sons writing them in 5th grade based on their names. This one is called Four Fabulous Funky Forest Fungi, found Friday foraging for food. And finally, one of my favorite poems in the book is in the back, Before the Resources, by Tracy Kiff Judson, and it's called Ivy Driving. It's a fun, whimsical, nature-based poem. Lacey raced her flatbed Chevy, blasting through this country town, gassing, running, grinding, gunning, hard until its parts broke down. Lacey drove her beat-up Chevy to a field of sunburned hay. Chugging, choking, coasting, smoking, Lacey left it to decay. Now who's driving this old Chevy? Ivy climbs in, creeps around, twisting, hugging, coaxing, tugging, into slow digesting ground. Another friend of mine from the Poetry Friday group is Carol Barcelona. She writes this beautiful poem about moon glow. Moon, you pose, greeting me at evening tide. I stare surprised by your glowing appearance and regal statuesque stance. You're not the old man in the moon, but a friendly face guiding me home. So I hope you take this opportunity to purchase a copy of Picture Perfect Poetry. It would be great in a classroom for independent work by students or even to augment your own poetry unit. There are 114 pages in the book, poems, photographs that are crisp and clear and beautiful, reflecting the nature of our world, and the back matter that will assist you with lessons. Thanks for your time.